They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
The WNBA stumbled over their own shoelaces just when you thought they were really getting it together and prepared to take off on the Caitlin Clark rocket ship to significant money and sports prominence. I'm referring to Caitlin Clark by that. Indeed, the league's one-woman grading system was just placed on the injured list.
Indiana Fever announced that star Caitlin Clark will be out at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Clark reported some pain in her leg Saturday after the team's loss to the New York Liberty. She subsequently underwent an MRI and was diagnosed with the strain on Monday.
These days, talk programs are going crazy, basketball fans are going crazy, and there is a mystique around Stephen A. He is so furious at the WNBA bullies, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and most notably Angel Reese, who still believes that others are watching her, that he is virtually floating. Comment baby goat over baby giraffe below if you concur with Stephen A. Come on.
Was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year last season and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points and a league-leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last part. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that the young lady can ball. She is special. What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, right? Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out?
With a quad strain, Caitlin Clark, the woman who made women's basketball a must-watch TV show instead of just something your too competitive cousin watched, is currently sidelined. At least 2 weeks. The WNBA will pretend that everything is perfect for 2 long, dark weeks, but the real product will fall apart faster than Angel Reese's layup. Imagine this. The league's top streetwear brand, yet the TV numbers are as low as a rock in a kiddie pool.
Fortunately, though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson, be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword, shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may think.
Naturally, Stephen Smith was the first to lose their mind over it. Instead of merely making a remark, ESPN's in-house hype machine went to DEFCON 1. Other league voices offered us their most courteous shrug, but Stephen A. entered like a human Molotov, denouncing every poor judgment and poor choice that had brought us to this point. It had to be done by someone, let's face it. Everyone else is out here babbling sweet nothings and acting as though their direct deposit didn't arrive on schedule because of Caitlin.
Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying I know for sure what's going to happen, but I have an idea.
This individual did not only raise his voice, he conducted himself as though he had been waiting months to expose the league's shortcomings. Stephen A. was occupied slapping down receipts while WNBA execs were out to lunch attempting to pretend that Caitlin Clark wasn't the one keeping the lights on. It was like watching math class with fireworks because of how precisely he explained everything. He essentially said, "Oh, you think the league can survive without Caitlin Clark? Nice tale, dude. Try not to cry when you look at the numbers."
Thanks to Clark, Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. 4 teams moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. That's about Caitlin Clark. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from...
Let's examine those figures, shall we? The average number of viewers for the Caitlin Clark games this year is 1.178 million. Just 394,000 when she's not there. It's not a drop. They're jumping off a precipice. That represents a 3-fold decline in viewing. Players like Angel Reese continue to question why Clark receives greater screen time. Perhaps it's because Caitlin genuinely piques people's interest by not treating the ball like a bowling pin.
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated.
Stephen A. wasn't only angry when he woke up. This was the outcome of months of observing the WNBA blow every good chance. I asked though Clark wasn't bringing the entire league into the spotlight. He has witnessed Cheryl Swoops hurl more shade than a beach umbrella. Naturally, Ree couldn't help but use every opportunity as a chance to try out for the role of America's next jealous teammate.
Ask me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
The commissioner, Kathy Angelberg, whose entire approach to Clark could be summed up as follows. Thanks for the ratings, huh? It's like yearning for a slightly bigger bottle after discovering a genie in a bottle, I suppose. Now that Clark is out, Stephen A. is essentially shouting from the rooftops, I told you so. To be honest, he has earned it.
Notice when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
If this is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence proves it, then everyone needs to stand down and ride the wave, he added, adding a bit of timeless wisdom. Translation, give up battling it. It's Caitlin's show. Either join the group or fall behind. Sitting in partially deserted stadia with perplexed spectators who want to know where the excitement gone.
Became the first rookie with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the 4th different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her. I'm looking at other things. 6 different league television partners. This is last year. This is last season, because this is Caitlin Clark that we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records that year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games included the Indiana Fever?
Let's go back in time, since the events leading up to this train disaster have been a good example of league mismanagement. 2.7 million people watched Caitlin Clark's first game of the season versus the Sky, setting a new record. ESPN's highest-rated WNBA game ever. A big enough debut that the NBA took notice. It wasn't a coincidence. That was a generational star's entrance. She arrived with more viewers, receipts, and sleazy sales than half the league put together. Then, what was the WNBA doing give her lots of love? Start a massive marketing campaign? We received press releases that were so basic that Angel Reese herself might have written them. It seemed as though the league was reluctant to admit that a single player was contributing more to the brand than 10 years of teamwork.
Lifts all boats. And if this is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence over the next 2 weeks to that due to that quad strain is providing further evidence of that, then everybody needs to accept it, stand down, and ride that wave. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the ratings are going to look without her over the next 2 weeks. Let's make sure we come back and ask me this exact same question after she's been gone for those 2 weeks.
Stephen A. was observing the entire development. The league is subtly downplaying Caitlin despite her rising stardom. The veterinarians are staring at her as if she had stolen the last piece of pizza. The WNBA is currently in a panic, rushing to cover for the one player who can draw in an additional million viewers simply by tying her shoes. The point is that Caitlin Clark wasn't your typical high draft selection. She was the lottery ticket for the WNBA. They also attempted to minimize it rather than frame it. Now that the ticket is temporarily out of circulation, they are at last appreciating her value. I've been telling y'all you can't build a castle and then act surprised when the queen moves in, says Stephen A., who is reclining.
You know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm. And they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had. They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
In the end, she was treated like a normal bird by the WNBA, who possessed the golden goose. Stephen A. is more than just irate. He is giving the league the sorely needed reality check. Sponsors are calling because Clark is the attraction, the face, and the reason. And this league will lose more than just a player if she is not respected, valued, and given more opportunities. When it comes to Caitlin Clark, Stephen A. Smith has been the only voice of reason in a noisy room. They skirt around egos and hold onto antiquated myths, but Stephen has been speaking the truth. He has been her loudest fan from the day Clark took the WNBA court, bringing with her a surge of media attention, ticket sales, and viewership the league had never experienced before.
And why?
Because Stephen truly sees value when he sees it, in contrast to the jealous mutterings of some former players who pretend that Clark's success is a personal slight. He asserted that there is genuine animosity in the world. And gosh, is it now clear?
I think Stephen A. is 100% correct on this. At the end of the day, you already see people actually saying, hey, I'm not watching for 2 weeks. I'm not tuning in for 2 weeks. And it's really bad news for the Mystics and the Sky, because both of those teams moved those games to big arenas. So it's like, now that she's not playing, what is that attendance going to look like? The viewership, right? The viewership is going to plummet. I already know, because majority of the people that's watching the Indiana Fever wants to see Caitlin Clark. And sad to say it, a lot of them only want to see Caitlin Clark. They don't really care about the entire team.
Right in front of us, the prophecy is now coming to pass. Clark isn't going to miss a meaningless Tuesday night matchup with a team that no one remembers. She is not attending important matches, the type of games that ESPN loves. Her eagerly awaited battle with Angel Reese has ended. Several national broadcasts during prime time. Kaput. The financial impact is severe and instantaneous. Not just Indiana is lacking a standout player. The WNBA is losing all of its appeal at this point. Clark is doing more than just making points. People go to the arena, switch on their TVs, and purchase those pricey jerseys primarily because of her. When you remove her from the equation, the Indiana Fever start to resemble every other team that is frantically attempting to remain relevant.